This new EV is very likely to be the cheapest electric car you can buy in New Zealand or Australia or any of the other car markets. It is coming to within the next, 6 to 12 months. It's coming very soon. Should you consider one despite its ugly ass styling? Well, if you love it, sorry, but I don't. Should you consider one? Well, yeah, you should. Looks aren't everything. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm the Electric Viking. My name is Sam Evans. Thank you for tuning in. It's awesome to see you. And thank you so much for supporting my GoFundMe campaign for my wife's cancer. She's here with me now, with me and the boys here now in Jomtien in Pattaya in Thailand. She's going back to the clinic, I think, tomorrow. It's in Bangkok, unfortunately, to do some tests and to get some more IVs and some more chemotherapy done. So if you're wondering her treatment, it's a combination of natural things, so giving her lots of vitamins and IV drips with vitamins in them, and also doing chemo at the same time, plus doing other things like changing her diet. She's been on basically a vegan-only diet. There's key reasons for that. It seems as though cancer grows using proteins and amino acids and sugar. That seems to be the main things that cancer grows on, of course, carbohydrates as well. So trying to cut all that out, but it does mean she's lost a huge amount of weight. She won't be watching this video, but seeing her lose this much weight, it is a little bit worrying. There's not much you can do. You just have to hope that you don't lose so much weight that you it ends up becoming a problem, which it very well could. Anyhow, the cancer definitely has become smaller, so it's definitely not gone, but it's getting better, which is a good thing. Chery Omoda SUV. The Chery Omoda 5 electric SUV was revealed in China recently. I don't know why, but I can't stand the looks of it on the outside. On the inside, it looks like a freaking beautiful place to be. Absolutely gorgeous on the inside. In comparison to its rivals, it poops all over them when it comes to the inside. The outside, I don't know, it just looks chintzy and weird to me, but that's my taste. Everyone's different. Let me know, is this a winner for you on the looks department or not? This is a very similarly sized car to the two other electric SUVs available in the UK, Australia, New Zealand, other car markets, places that China likes to send their EVs. Probably coming to Europe as well, by the way. If you're in Europe, this car, likely you'll be able to buy one. The Chery Omoda 5 is very similar in dimensions to the MG ZS EV and the BYD Atto 3. In fact, the BYD Atto 3 is slightly bigger. You wouldn't think so. This car just looks big to me, but it is. So one thing about this car that will rule it out for you, and I'm just going to say it, so if you don't want to watch the rest of the video, you can just stop here. The boot size, it's very small. The boot size is like, I don't know, about just under 300 litres, 270 litres, 280 litres, around about that. It's smaller than the boot in a lot of just normal hatchbacks. So if that matters to you, it does to me. It just rules it out completely. Now, as a second car, that's a different story. So that could be an option if it's a second car. Now, speaking of similarities to the Atto 3 and the MG ZS EV, it's actually remarkably similar because it's got the same size battery, the same power, the same dimensions. It's remarkably uncannily similar to those two cars. When will it be available? Well, first of all, I think this will probably be the cheapest electric SUV you can buy in all those markets I just mentioned. So if depending on how cheap it is, then who cares if it doesn't look the best, then it's still going to be a good car. Chery's a pretty formidable brand in China. They're a big brand over there, pretty well trusted as well. The petrol version of this, the gasoline version, it actually arrived in showrooms here in Australia in March of 2023. So that's my only concern. This doesn't appear to be a ground-up electric car. As far as I can tell, it's built on the same platform as the gasoline car. So that's probably a bit of a disadvantage in comparison to the BYD Atto 3. Obviously, it's purely an EV, built on an EV-only platform. And the battery difference here. Now, that's one of the other differences that I can tell. Battery pack sizes are the same size. Both the Atto 3 long range and this have approximately the same size battery, 61 kilowatt hours, but the BYD Atto 3 has a lithium iron phosphate battery And from what I've heard from market reports in China, this does not. It has a normal ternary battery, nickel, manganese, cobalt type battery, which is, it's not a bad thing. I just have a little bit more confidence personally in LFP batteries. Now, I know there's been reports recently of BYD batteries blowing up, but the only ones that I can confirm, 99% of the cases where there has been battery fires involving EVs in China, they've been involved with lithium ternary batteries. So BYD actually does make cars with ternary batteries that are not blade batteries. It does. Those go in the Mustang, Ford Mustang Mach-E. They're also used in other cars where BYD sell the batteries to other car manufacturers in China. Plus, BYD use them in their plug-in hybrids. So it's mostly been from the videos I've seen, the plug-in hybrids with BYD's ternary battery packs have had issues. In terms of BYD's blade battery, well, it's been very good actually. And remember, the standard range Model Y and Model 3 have had pretty much no fires that I've heard of. The only ones there's been a couple where other cars like smashed into them in massive collisions, but that's it. They've been incredibly good. So the LFP thing, lithium iron phosphate batteries, I do still see as an advantage. Now, if your battery pack is going to give you less range, well, that's going to be a different story. But considering the range of this car is almost identical to the Atto 3, I'm giving that a win for the Atto 3. Range is 450 kilometers from laboratory testing. Probably will be close to that once we see it here in Australia and in your country, UK, New Zealand, probably Europe as well. Chery says it's targeting energy efficiency of 15 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers or less. 0 to 100 time very similar to an Atto 3 of 7.8 seconds, and 0 to 80% fast charge in 35 minutes or less. So it sounds like the fast charging will be faster than the MG ZS EV and the Atto 3, but its acceleration is probably slightly slower. However, the motor power is extremely similar. It's got 165 kilowatt coming from the front driven motor. Now, I personally see this as a disadvantage. I'm not really sure why Chinese manufacturers are making so many EVs with front drive driven cars. You know, the motor in the front, basically. It doesn't actually make sense because there's a lot of reasons why it makes more sense to have a rear-wheel drive EV or an all-wheel drive. That's even better, but rear-wheel drive is probably better for efficiency. But there's other reasons that rear-wheel drive actually is a better option, and why MG have done that with the MG4. Now, I actually explained those in a video, and I'll put a link in the description to that video for why rear-wheel drive is a really good choice. But anyhow, it doesn't make a difference here because the MG ZS EV, Atto 3, and this car all are front-wheel drive. If you want rear-wheel drive, you've pretty much got to go buy a Tesla. Tesla Model Y would be the only real similar car to these, but it's significantly bigger than these three models. So similar power to an Atto 3, almost identical. Front drive motor, almost identical. Dimensions, almost identical. Battery pack size, almost identical. Chemistry, different. Looks, different. Interior, the interior of this car is miles better than either the MG ZS EV or the Atto 3. Outside, no, in my opinion, it's not. It's worse than those two, but that's just me. But it's interesting to hear what Chery had to say about this. Now, I'm going to read this to you because automakers don't normally say this kind of stuff. We already have conducted a lot of studies into the market and compared and modified our EV to compete with the Hyundai Kona Electric, said Charlie Zhang, Executive Vice President of Chery's export division. When he made these comments recently, he said the Omoda 5 EV is much better than the MG ZS EV. We have the new generation of electric and electronic architectures, and the design, technology, and features are very much different. But then he didn't say how they're different. And I'm kind of struggling to work out exactly how they are different. Anyhow, Mr. Charlie Zhang, I'd love to know. Please get in contact. Send me an email. contact@electricviking.com. Let me know all these amazing differences between the MG ZS EV or even the Atto 3. It will compete with that too. No matter what happens, there's going to be three very compelling, similarly sized electric cars available, similarly priced, similarly sized in multiple car markets outside of China, Australia, New Zealand, UK, probably Europe as well, within the next 6 months. What does that do? Puts pressure on these automakers to compete on price. They will have to. They'll have no choice. that's a good thing. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and thank you for watching.